Okay, so hello guys. Once again, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video recap. So after a few days, a bit busy with like events. So here I can be back to the recap videos and we are now getting to the World Open, the event that I got the final GM norm. So here I think I will go to game 3. I think I will try to do some more games here. Probably game 3, game 5 maybe, 7, and game 8, maybe like 4 games. I think I will see if like game 4 is also worth consideration. Game 6 I play with my compatriot, I don't know, maybe not. Game 1 it was a long ride with some 120-100. Which apparently was not good enough. Game 2 was a little bit odd when my opponent spent like 50 minutes in the opening, so I could say that that game was not very needed as well. Okay, let's go to game 3 first. So after game 3, like before game 3, I got like 2 points out of 2. And in game 3 here, I met a guy named Robert Perez. I believe he was somewhere 23, 25 or something like that in the FIDE rating. I was right. So my plan definitely was to try and beat him in the game, right? I was right and I was kind of confident a little bit in this game. But in fact, just to tell you about the thing, this game is the game that I think, closest to lose the game. I think in both two events. Like I need to defend the whole game due to the opening mistakes. Like I forget an idea in the opening and I was like, pushed by him. I offered him a draw, like I think one or two times I believe, but he declined. He just keep trying to push me. Luckily I survived, but this game is pretty tough. I think this one is like an example to show you that, even when you are like, higher rated than your opponent, you still need to be careful a little bit. And also what I can tell you is that you need to make sure that you still understand like what's going on in openings. So let's go to the game right away. I play d4, obviously as usual, d4 here, knife 6 in the game, c4, e6. Normally when I did look at my opponent a little bit before the game happened, I think he played like g6, like so I play knife 3 bishop here. He tends to play this kind of thing here. So in the game he thought for a little while, like I think around a minute, and he played e6. So apparently I was not prepared for this. But in chess, especially in classical, this must be quite, normal, right? Your opponent just want to play something that you don't expect and trying to get you out of your prep. c3, b4, c2. I just play this Nimzo Indian, the classical one. I think like at least like 4 games or like 5 games maybe even in the 2 events. Castles, e4, yeah, just a line here when you want to, take some activity in the center. So here the normal line is like d5, so I play like e5, now a4, bishop d3, c5, knight 3, knight d7, castle, stage, like a pretty long line actually, a pretty long variation, I wouldn't say that. And obviously it's like pretty long here as well. I shouldn't start like d4, it's one first. I think you made a mistake here. This one here first, this one here, and then like d4 and d7 is one here, and then bishop f4, queen h4. Yeah, this is like a very long variations, and obviously very famous as well. So in the game, he played d6, relatively rarer options. e5, okay. I did have, I believe, a prep in, I think like a couple of weeks before the event happens, so I still can remember some moves. But that's that. knight g4, knight f3, knight c6, f4, knight d4, d2. Its own theories. Knight f3, gf3, queen d2, king d2. So the main line here and what I've like fully, prepared in the game is like rook d8, king c2, knight f2 here, and then rook g1, and like bishop c5, rook g2, and the knight here is in trouble. That's the main line here. I know it. In the game he played in knight a6. Once again, a rare variations. So here I kind of run out of my prep, and I start thinking. But oddly enough, as I mentioned earlier, I was a little bit confident, maybe overconfident before the game happened, so I still playing quite fast. a3. This is wrong actually. When I came home, I looked at the lines and I know the main line here is like take here, bishop d3 is one, and then bishop e4. So white is having a slight edges in the game, like f5 I think so. Take here, bishop e4. I mean, it's not going to give me lots of initiatives, but I think I'm doing fine overall. But okay, so in the game, I play a3, bishop c5. Once again, good or bad, I must play this one. Like take here, f4 maybe, and then like knight 4 later, probably as well. But I mean, I don't know. In the game, I just don't want to give away my bishop for a knight. And once again, I kind of underestimate my opponent's play. Knight 4. This one, I think, is the start of the mistakes. Bishop d4. So now, this is technically the only chance left to take the knight a6. Here, and then f4 to defend a pawn here, right? Bishop b2 is not scary since I can just play, I think, rook b1. Or like I can play here actually, like here. So bishop to a3, I get here, right? So rook g1 here and get some nice activities here, which I think compensate for 2 pawns missing. Wanted to do that actually, since I need to open up the G file and also weaken up these squares here for my knight to get into attack. And I'm better there for sure, I think so. In the game, once again, I just like king c2 pretty fast. And now knight 5 play. You can see the evaluation bar, right? Somehow, it's not that fun for white anymore. Now, in the game, only after this move, I realized that I don't really have a lot of counterplay. The g4 attack here can just like be played here, right? To stop it. And he can play like b6 here, b7, c5. His plan now becomes very straightforward to me, but I don't see my plan at all. It's a thing that's very annoying, right? g1. I just keep on doing things I think is like fine. I want to attack in the g file. Once again in the game, I can tell you that I was a bit too confident. And that's not good at all. b6, should d3, should b7. I believe at this point, after him a draw at this point here, he declined. I think he already sensed that he's better. Somehow I don't really have a great plan here. His plan, let's see, 5 rook d8, double things here, very simple stuff. My pawn here is weak, and the g5 is not a thing I can try to do. Rook g5 in the game, this one. Once again, very optimistic, but this is wrong. I just hope for like knight here, rook ag1 kind of thing in this way, but this is not working at all. So like for instance, I think my plan consists like something like c5 here. So I play something like rook ag1 here, I believe, rook ag1 here, like king h8 and like rook h5, I think so. With ideas like this way, but you can just play here, I don't know, like here or here. It's not gonna work. Like even though things get in my best, it's still not working for me, In the game, simple to update this one. So now in a game, I suddenly realized that rook ag1 runs to king f8. This king run out here safely, and I don't have anything at all. Like the g5 attaches come to an end, right? This one was fun here, but apparently it's not working since if you play here, just bishop h5. This one defend the knight here, and he's winning a free rook. So In the game, I suddenly realized I'm in huge trouble. Rook d1. I think at this point I was also down time as well a little bit too. King f8. Rook h5 in the game. s6. Not a very fun loop to play, right? But in fact, I realized that now I need to defend against some threats. For instance, now knight 4 can be a thing. Also now like just like here and here, and I'm just much worse. Like because if I play like you can see like just like rook g1 for instance, right? Now he can just like play like I think simple rook d7 here. I think so. Or maybe like a5 as well, or just like here as well too. To defend against this threat, and then knight 4 now, and I'm just like these pawns are so weak. Like here and here, or here and here. Nothing's fun, I swear. So, in the game, rook h5, I attempt to bring my rook here to defend h3. But as you can see here, the rook here is a little bit restricted, right? Which is not fun at all. In the game, rook d7, I mean like knight 7 here first. This actually is quite sad. In the game here, I really hope that he can like fall for my tricks. This is actually like the only thing I can still think of. Yeah, like rook d7 here, I got knight 6 this one. And all of a sudden I'm fine. I think what I believe here is that I got like take here, right? I take here first this one, I take here, I take on f6. And though I'm down a piece, I'm actually better. This is the ideas here and the king's in trouble, right? The bishop is being pinned, and all of a sudden I'm very in a good shapes right now. But somehow here in the game he just figured out things to play knight 7, which was a very safe move. He want to play like knight to c6 here, put pressure on the pawn here. Also knight to g6 can be a plan too. That's why in the game g3 is play. But rook 7, right? Now, so this one obviously is not a thing anymore, so you just like play here, and now take here, bishop here, and I'm just down a full piece without any real competition. So, in the game, bishop e2. I mean, I don't have any plan here, but I just want to make sure I can have some pin here in the d file, and trick him a little bit. Like what we did here, right? So I can think about like maybe knight to d6 in minute, I don't know. It's one. Or maybe like c5 probably. But it's not fun at all. Like this one actually is like looking fine, right? But a bad thing here is that my pieces are very cramped. My pawn also are very weak as well. And this is just much worse for us. Not even mentioning it may be like positionally losing. So in a game here, I don't know what's going on. I think he played like knight 5. He played very safe. I can tell you that. He simply wants to defend the bishop here, prevent this idea as well, and now the idiot is the thing. His knight here is also very strong, right? And you can see nothing can challenge him. In the game, c5. I think at around this point, I had like 5 minutes. And he had like I think around like 8 minutes I believe. So here by c5 I just want to get a trick to him, You can see that it is already very bad for me here, like -4 from my opponent, right? A very simple trick here, it's playing the pin, is that if I play here, right, I'm gonna c5. And all of a sudden here I'm fine. I'm fine here. I mean I'm still, you can see, right? Even though I'm down, I mean he's down in exchange, he's still fine due to the weirdness of my pieces. But still, obviously he will never fall for that. In the game, bishop c6 exclamation mark. I also kind of miss this one as well. The thing is that now he defended the bishop here, right? Bishop a4 can be a plan. Also, he can even try to put pressure on the b file, which will just be very annoying for me. So in the game here, c6 in the game. The pawn here, right? He can take with the c pawn here. Honestly, in the game, I really dislike this move. Like, I think it will be in huge trouble after that. Like here, I believe he feared like knight here, but he can just play knight g3, and this one is just like very simple winning, right? This one. So I have nothing here, and now like look, I see it, bishop a4, and things now looks just very bad. In the game, bishop b6. I was slightly more relieved when I see this. He wants to exchange the only active rook here, which also makes sense, but somehow it is not losing right away, so I still have some hopes to survive. But obviously you can see, right, just by some weird moves by me, and now my pieces are in very bad places in the game. So I captured on d7 here as well. He takes with the rook bishop here as well too, obviously. So bishop f4. I hurriedly trying to get my bishop back to defense. Like here and here can be a plan, you know. But apparently my rook h3 seems to be pretty out of the game for now. So rook d8 was played by my opponent. He wanted to play like here, and all kind of things. This obviously is not fun at all. King c1. In the game, actually, I can be proud of my defending skills in time scrambles. I defend stubbornly, and I found one of the best resources to play. So I just play king c1 here, avoid being checked by bishop a4 and d4 as well. Make sure my king is safe, and if you play d4 now, I'll get bishop d1, and this helped me to cover some important squares, you know. In the game, king c1 was played by me, bishop a4. Yes. And here, you know, there basically is only the good defending move, which I play in the game, d2. So here you need to understand his ideas. He wants to play knight d4 and this one here as well. Also now my king can also be in trouble too, you know, if I'm not careful enough. d2, that's shot by me. I like this move. The thing here is that, like, you know, I covered the d1 squares. Also, I even plan to play bishop c3 to defend these pawns here in as well. Also, now you can see f4 can be played as well, right? So if he's not careful enough, my rook can get out of the cage. Bishop c6, this one. He realized his mistake, and he played here once again to prevent me from play f4. So here bishop c3 is my plan at first, but I don't like knight e7, knight d5 here maybe, or bishop knight d4 as well too. But in the game, I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't find better thing than that. So f4 is the drop piece, right? I don't see anything better than that one, so bishop c3 in the game. a5. I think here, I believe I had around 2 minutes, and he had around like 3 minutes. So, you know, I think we are playing on increments right now, but now it's already moved 30, so only 10 moves left until we get some more time on our clock. So, in the game here, so before I was in the game before, a very tough decision to make. Once again, you can see my pieces are so cramped, right? There are not much I can do here, so at the end of the day, exchanging some pawns, I believe maybe give me some chances. But apparently here, I mean, it's easy to choose. Stick here, and you know, if I play a4, I mean, he can put pressure on a5 here as well. Bishop b4 here, looking g8, and then somehow now, so knight d4 can be a threat as well. So here, I spend some last valuable seconds on the clock. I take the pawn. The engine is like it. I knew it, but I don't know. I just have no time to fight better things. Rook a8. Here, he just, I think, can win the game. Win a d4 here. This one. The thing here is that he has a nice sacrifice here that, you know, I think he might miss in the game. You know, if I play bishop d4 now, rook d4, and my pawn here drops. If I play bishop c4, he can knight 3, and the knight at e4 is also hanging too as well. If I play bishop d1 here, which I think I will very likely to play in the game, just play, I think, knight b5, this one. And now bishop b2, bishop d4, and then the idea is this way, you know, and my pawn on b4 is also in big trouble. So I think just like losing here, bh. So not in the game, so lucky me, he was also in time scrambles. He played rook a8. His plan is bishop rook a2, you know, rook a2 is his plan. So I play bishop c4 with the idea to just prevent him from playing rook a2. But still, rook d5 here. He wants to change the bishop, and if I play here, right? This is actually very, very bad. He even had a pass pawn here too, and rook a2 can be a thing, so this looks really dangerous. In the game, rook d3 I play, try and keep pieces on the board. Rook a2 and f4. This is very bad, but I need to get some activities. So this decided to sacrifice a pawn here, and my opponent just happily accepted. Rook e4, c and rook f2. My pawn here is in huge trouble. So now, if you play bishop f5, right? This one, and this is not a draw. The bad news here is that, you know, if this is the opposite color bishop, this may give me some drawing chances. But somehow, what I want to say is that this thing is just not a draw at all, since my pawn are so weak, and the bishop are in the same color. And, you know, same color bishop here, the only one can win is my opponent. That's the case, right? In the game, rook d2, I play this one, defend upon f4 here. So it's actually not clear. The engine believe this one is the best, knight d4. The idea is to just play knight e2 and f4 win a pawn on f4. And here, surprisingly enough, I have no way to stop it. King d1 is just losing right away. I mean, due to, I think, rook f1 and here rook f4, right? Drop another pawn here. And after that, the pawn a5 will also drop as well. And here, knight 2 is like a huge threat. Rook a3, drop a pawn h2 as well. So nothing now really works for me. You see, right? And it's just a loss. Once again, lucky me, he's just like downtime here too. I think we both have like, I think around a minute right here in the game. So rook f1 in the game. c2, yes, knight d4 and king d3. Luckily for me, so now my king covered e2 as well, and it got more active. So I have some more like slight chances, right? And obviously it's not that easy too. So just try my best to like defend things this way. Rook d1, king c3, get out the pin. F1 here again. So now we reach move 40. So here I made a mistakes. Like due to the time control, right? We were given another extra 30 minutes right here. But somehow, I mean, like the clock still shows, I think, 1 minute on the clock. I just didn't know that. Like it will just give me time if, I mean, like, you know, I get down to like below 0 seconds. It will still give me like 30 minutes then. But I just like, I think I'm like flagging. So here I just play a fast move without thinking a lot. And obviously, I need to play for that. Rook d3. The only way to play here, in fight. I think it's king c4, this one. Get some activity for the king. Knight 2, like rook e3, right? Start doing things here. And now b5 can be a thing as well too, like here and here and here as well. And have some activities. In the game, I missed a very important detail. Rook d3, knight 2, king c4, knight 4. Yes, and now I'm just like draw 2 pawns. In the game, I can tell you that rook d8, here and here, I was very happy at first. In fight, I plan to play bishop here, go for the mate, and I also plan here as well. See, right? At first glance, it feels nice for me, but apparently here I forget that he didn't need to play this kind of move. Like g5 here, it's not very strong. I can just like play bishop here, f5 take here, right? And I have some kind of play with the bishop pair. But in the game, he just can play f5 instantly. This is very good. The engine even pointed out a better way to win. Knight d5 exclamation mark. The idea is very, very deep. Here, right? Rook d1. And this is a very, very deep. So now, I mean, bishop d4 and I drop a bishop, right? Rook g2, bishop e3 as well too, and I also drop a bishops. So thing here is that like the best move is to, should d5 forcing, right? Just here king d3 and it should d4 this one. And now I drop a pawn here as well, and all the things just dropped, and this was losing instantly. In the game, he chose the second option, f5, which was also winning, but I managed to find a way to mess up the game. Takes. So here I defend valiantly, and I'm happy with my defending play. Push e4. I realized that check here just like king f8, right? Not doing things at all. So play here first. Question his knight, where you wanna go. So here I realized that like if you like knight here, I got the pawn here, here as well, which is obviously a good thing to do. e5 in the game. Yes. In the game here, I spent I think 10 minutes at least thinking about if this one is fine for me. I probably take here as a draw, right? Take here as a draw for sure, we all know that. But I don't like this one here, and then f3, f2. So this feels also very scary for me. Black has extra rook here, and in this kind of endgame, I'm pretty worried about my chance to survive. So in the game, I just keep more material on the board. Just here, king e6, and bishop b7. This one. So now the fun here is that I want to go for mate as well. For instance, f2, right? Checks here, b7, and now king here actually is like mate. See? King here takes, here takes, and once again we got a very nice attack, right? And it's just like winning material for us as well. A beautiful X-ray is what I can tell you. In the game, so he's starting there, he played f5, which basically the other move here, f5. So take here, king here, right? It's not doing things at all. So once again in the game, I find the best defense, which actually is the only defense, with 7 exclamation mark. So here I once again put pressure on his pieces. Like now he is not very, well coordinated, right? And that's the only choice. h5 in the game. Take here obviously is wrong, take here with checks. So once again in the game, I think I once again find the best defense. Rook h8 exclamation mark. The idea here is that, if like I say here earlier, this one, king f6, and I realize it's not doing things. Like if I play here, like, rook here, king g5, I don't see it's going anywhere. So, rook in the game, this one. I want to play bishop c8 and let's check here as well, and win a pawn. So, e4, bishop c8, king f6. This one here, once again, I spent, I think, some last minutes on the clock on these positions. This actually is like a drawing position over here, but I must be very careful. I spent a long time on this one, c3. So what I conclude is that if you play here, right, I go to g8 here, and I think we are fine. Like king rook here, I think we are so good. But king g5 is what I'm really scared about, king g5. Rook g8, this one. So now here, yeah, this one I calculate as well. So now, he got nothing covered, right? Bishop here can be a play as well in order to attack with this way. But I think you got a king a6 one as well. Should e2, e3 start doing things. Bishop f7, rook g1 is the thing. I saw this one here and I realized I'm having no tricks. But I think the engine figure I can play here as well. Bishop f6 here with the limiting attack. So now e3 takes and e2, and this one is equal, guys. You see, right? But like here, and you can see that the line here, this is ridiculous, right? This is ridiculous. So obviously I have no way to see a thing here in time scrambles. So I play, I think, unequally good as well, which I also am very proud of. h4 exclamation mark. I realized that his ideas here link with the king g5 ideas to run. So I'll show first h4 first right here, and then now here and here can be much more decisive, much more like strong as well. Now here is not doing things, you can just stay here as one, bishop c3, and now king here, rook here is just like some kind of perpetual checks. if I play like in a5 to king b5 as well, and also his king will be harassed forever too in the game. So a2, and I happily to keep a perpetual, guys. g5, g7, and 3-8. Once again, the best move. See, right? I think I defend very well, and the game now finished in perpetual by me. 94, 57, rook e7 first, 57, and obviously this is the thing. It's the thing right here. Obviously, one king d5 start doing things, you know. So here, knight 3, and I happily accept the perpetual. Since we play here, right, we got mate, which is funny. So you can see, right, a very tough game for me. I need to defend for most part of the game. I was on the rush of losing for, you know, I think 30 to 40 moves. So surviving this game was huge for me. Like, you know, I was a bit overconfident there, and things were so rough, right? I defend like tough and things work somehow. But okay, guys, so a game is nice, and you know, there's some lessons through the game that I did tell you earlier. So hopefully we can learn something from the game. Hopefully you like the content as well, and I will see you later as well too. Peace.